Hello again, everyone. It's Todd Staruch, the Horror Nerd, here on our second day at Scares That Care Charity Weekend 7 here in Williamsburg, Virginia. We are getting the day going today with the star of Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, Mr. Mark Patton. Mark, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Hello, everybody out there. It's nice to see you today.
How is the convention going for you so far?
Oh, it's great. You know, I really love this show a lot, just with what's at the core of it. And it just sort of emanates through all the people who come here, and I love Joe, and it's just, I'm having a good time.
That's good. Yeah, it is definitely a different kind of vibe from most conventions, that's for sure.
You know, it's nice because it's like we make very good money here, which is nice, nothing wrong with that. But it's just constant, I can actually talk to people, and it's just a constant kind of nice movement. When it's too crowded, it's not fun for me.
Sure.
And if it's too slow, it's not fun.
Right, I hear that.
Like you get really sleepy and want to get underneath the table if it gets too slow. But yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
Glad to be here.
And listen, I'm just a fan at heart, and from a fan perspective, it's not fun for us either when it's just like an assembly line, sign and go.
Right. Yeah.
And
no,
bye-bye.
I find when it's like this, I actually make more money, have more fun, and I can actually talk to the people, hear what your story is, and, so it's good.
Good. I am glad to hear you're having a good time with us this weekend. So, Mark, my favorite question to ask is, does it ever surprise you that after all these years with Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, that the fans do continue to come and line up to meet you and the other cast members and talk to you about these movies that we love so much?
Well, when you're making this kind of movie, you never know what's going to happen. I'm in deep enough now that I understand that this is like pop culture history, and my accountant says I'll be doing this till the day I die if I want to, because the generations keep coming. So I'm used to it now. When I made it, I never would have dreamed. I loved making it. It was fun, but it was just a job for me.
Sure.
And now it's opened up so many doors for me. Elm Street has, and with my documentary Scream Queen, it just really opened up the whole world. I'm on my way to Brazil next, and then I go to Spain, England, France, just everywhere. And then at the end, I'll go to Australia.
Wow.
And all on the back of Elm Street and Scream Queen. So it's a good thing for me. Yeah.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. I'm a child of that time. I'm a child of the 80s. I grew up with all of this, and now I'm introducing my daughter to all of this stuff that I love, and she's embracing it. So I dig that I get to pass it along.
Oh, sure, it's fun. There's generations upon generations of this now. It's pretty wild. When you see the 14-year-olds who are just excited, as their parents are, or their grandparents sometimes now. So yeah, the franchise holds up really well, I think.
It does.
And it's a little capsule of the 80s, too. It really pictures the 80s very nicely. So I especially like our movie because it's character-driven. Mm-hmm. So you really know, like, people know who Jesse is. They know they identify with him a lot. So that's fun for me. Yeah.
Cool. Now, you did another TV show that I personally like very much, and again, growing up in that era, but maybe it doesn't get as much love and attention as it should, called Anna to the Infinite Power.
Oh, yeah, Anna's a great...
I love that show.
Oh, I do, too. I actually think it's somebody... I think somebody should remake that, because it's a great entry. The book is wonderful, but it's a great entry. It's a great movie for young girls. And to introduce them to like science and the Holocaust, which weirdly enough, and the brother-sister love is like, so many girls come to me and say, all of my nieces have watched that movie at least 100 times. They know all the lines, and I know as soon as I hear them say Michaela DuPont, I know they're hooked too. And we're on a third generation of that now, so yeah, I love the movie, and I love Dina and I love Martha, so it was a lot of fun.
Now, and so I was talking to some of the other guests. My daughter is growing up in a time where all of this stuff is now accessible, streaming or whatever. For me, sometimes that stuff came and went.
Oh, yeah.
And you had to wait, and then finally VHS came along. Now everything is literally at our fingertips, so it introduces a whole new generation to all of these things.
It does, and it also has new platforms for the actors and the people in the thing. Like, if I would have had social media when I was 25 years old, I could have ruled the world. I mean, I literally sell products everywhere in the world. And I do special events. like I said, I'm going to Brazil soon. Like, now, who would dream that, like, you're going to end up going to Brazil with my documentary, and all the people cry in the same place, they get excited in the same place, and that leads to India. I mean, it's just the whole world is open to you. And this particular Nightmare on Elm Street series is everywhere. Like Pakistan.
Wow.
I have a huge fan club in Russia. And they're right there. They can be at your doorstep in 10 minutes. So, it's pretty exciting.
The accessibility. Honestly, I didn't even think of that until you just said it. But it is so true. Even, I've been going to horror conventions for a long time before they became so big. And I have a lot of friends now I've met from foreign countries that are like, thank God for social media. We didn't know this was a thing.
Oh, I know. It's well, it's like it's so different. It's like with the different countries are like kind of fascinating because you sort of find out everybody's kind of the same. But I've been offered this year, like we got on the short list for the Academy Award for Scream Queen. And I've been offered 11 movies in the last 18 months.
Wow.
I've done 7 of them, and I'm getting ready to go and do the 8th. And they were all directors who watched Elm Street when they were kids and grew up to be directors and wrote parts for me. So, like, I'm going to go and do the Queer as Folk in New Orleans. Okay. And I literally said hi to the director online. He was like, I love you. I was like, oh, thank you. Because he made this movie called Closet Monster, which I like. And I was like, I loved your movie. And he was like, I love you. And do you want a part in this new television series for HBO? And I was like, I'm there with you. I just played a drug dealer that kills everybody that gets in his path. Foul mouth, cross between a Pentecostal preacher and Miley Cyrus is what I'm thinking.
Huh.
Great clothes, guns. I'm shooting everybody. And
nice.
I never dreamed I would be doing that, but there you are. So it all works out.
Very cool. Busy is good.
Oh, busy. Honestly, I couldn't be any busier. It's like I live in Mexico, which I love a lot, and I've lived there for 17 years, but it's always nice to go home.
Sure.
I live on a farm, so I get to do this part of the time and then go home and rest. So.
Very nice. So my final question, Mark, you mentioned, you have a bunch of projects coming up. Are there any in particular you're excited about that you can share?
Well, the one that I was just talking about where I'm the preacher is called Swallow, and it's made by All the Dead Boys, the production company. It's a wonderful movie. And then I just did a movie called One Dead Dog, which is on the circuit now. And I play a serial killer, but it's just really a movie about codependency. So I have nephews that kill people, and so I'm lining them up. So come and see me on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, and I'll keep you posted on where I'm going next.
Fantastic. Mark, thank you so much for a few minutes of your time.
Absolutely, sure.
Truly appreciate it, and thank you for spending the weekend with us here
thanks,
at Scares That Care. I wish you success with all your projects and a successful rest of the weekend.
Well, thank you very much.
Mark Patton, everybody here at Scares That Care Charity Weekend number 7 in Williamsburg, Virginia. I'm Todd Sturridge, the Horror Nerd, signing off. We will see all of you in the next interview.